Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And this is a special show, but we're bringing you one of the outstanding ladies in the state of Maryland. I mean, she has dedicated her life. I mean, her life. I've known her 20-something years, and she was working then. But what I want to do, this is complete surprise to Senator Joanne Benson of the 24th District. That's my special guest. And it gives me great pleasure now. Now, she doesn't know anything about this, to present to her from Ed Brown Show this book, say, She Speaks. And this book is Wisdom for the Women of the Bible to the Modern Black Woman.
Ooh.
I like to present this to you, Joanne, for
Thank
all
you so
for
much.
all the work.
Thank you so
all
much.
the work that you've done for years. You worked in all capacities. You know what I mean? You didn't start at the top. You worked, and you were patient, and you worked in Prince George County. And it gives me great pleasure to present to you on the Ed Brown Show, Outstanding Award and the Woman of the Year. Okay, now with that, this is yours too.
Thank you very much. Oh my goodness.
Let's put it on your office.
Yes.
You see, you
Thank
didn't
so much.
caught you by surprise. You're right.
Ooh, this is a pleasant surprise.
But actually, I said I was going to surprise you with that.
Oh,
because,
thank you.
All the work that you've done representing the men and the women, you know what I mean? And it just gives me great pleasure to have you on the show. And really, we really got a bombmaster today. I mean, we going to show you something some of you don't even know. Joanne Benson, 24th District, the town of Glenarden, is the second safest town in the state of Maryland. And that was in the Enquirer Gazette today, Thursday. And Senator Benson, she's going to show it to you and tell us about it.
It is really a genuine pleasure to be here. And this article in this newspaper is so well timed, you know, and it speaks to a town that truly deserves it. Glenarden is the lifeblood of the African American community. As a matter of fact, a lot of the politics as we know it had its start in Glenarden. And when you think about the number of people that have come through the ranks and have gotten political offices and have had such a profound influence on not only Prince George's County, not only Glenarden, but the great state of Maryland, even the nation.
Yes.
This is absolutely a marvelous article. And it speaks well to the kind of leadership that we now have in Glenarden. The mayor was raised in Glenarden. He was born in Glenarden. He is a part of the Smith family. The Smith family has a rich legacy in Glenarden. So he has a heart to serve in Glenarden. And so I am just deeply moved by the contents of this article. It speaks to the fact that the community is very close, that people feel safe. It talks about the statistics of what has happened here in 2013, 2014, compared to years before, and to be named as the second safest place to live in the state of Maryland is absolutely commendable. And I am just pleased to represent those people in Glenarden. And if you go into Glenarden, you will see it's a very settled community, very middle class. People have constructive things for the children to do. There's a Teresa Banks swimming pool. I mean, they were putting programs in place so that the children would not be on the street. The schools are doing well. Glenarden Elementary School is doing well. We're working very closely with Judge Sylvania Woods. The schools are doing well. The parents are involved. You know, it makes a difference It really, truly makes a difference. And so you see, you have the Glen Arden track team, has a national reputation.
Yes,
With the
yes.
most wonderful, wonderful people working in it, volunteering, people who don't even have children in Glen Arden. Work with the Glen Arden track team. That it has a renowned reputation. They travel all over the country.
What people from other jurisdictions come to Glen Arden to be on the track team.
Absolutely.
Because of their reputation.
Absolutely.
Their reputation is number one. In fact, they're in the Penn relays, all the number one track meets. Track meets. Glen Arden is number one. I'm talking about the nation. I'm not talking about Maryland.
And if you look at the Sports and Learning Center, the coach, the founder of the Glen Arden track team, had a role in developing the track that's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And people from all up and down the East Coast come to the Wayne Curry Sports Center, and they run the track. I mean, all kinds of wonderful things are happening as a result of what has taken place in Glen Arden.
That's right.
When they talked about building the stadium, if you will recall, there were people who were in opposition to the stadium. But when they talked about the children, the Glen Arden track team, and what was going to be put in place to help those children, the vast majority of the people in Glen Arden, along with the Councilman Wilson, oh my goodness, don't get me started on him, and Councilman Fletcher, those people said, listen, this is in the long run going to benefit the children.
Right.
And it's going to benefit the senior citizens. And so the vast majority of the people in Glen Arden, that tells you how progressive this town, Glen Arden is. It's very progressive.
I'm telling you. And people don't realize that all of this, it takes time, dedicated people like you. You know, the time that you put Larry up at the Sports and Learning Center, and people don't realize that Glen Arden has been the backbone of the development of African American politics, and a lot of people, they don't know that.
Absolutely.
But they continue with this article here. I was so proud of that article. It just came out today. I was so proud of that article. And I say, now, God has to be involved in here, because Senator Joanne Benson will be on my show.
Absolutely. Now, one other thing that's getting ready to happen in Glen Arden, they're getting ready to build a memorial that's dedicated to the veterans of Glen Arden. And I just think that that's wonderful. They're getting ready to put the shovel in the dirt to recognize those veterans from Glen Arden who has sacrificed their lives, and they're being away from home, leaving their families, and they are going to build a memorial dedicated to the veterans of Glen Arden. The town is very, very progressive. They're doing such a great job. And I am very, very pleased. And I am excited about the mayor. He's young, he's progressive, he is organized, he is focused, and he has Glen Arden in his heart.
Yes. I found that out. He was on last month. I found out, and I had him on this show. And I let people see what the young people are doing.
Absolutely.
Just like you and I have worked and tried to make a future for our young people. And he's an excellent example of the young people that are being raised in the state of Maryland and Glen Arden.
Absolutely. I am overwhelmed with joy with this article in this paper. I am so excited, I just can't even tell you. I can barely contain myself.
Yeah.
Number two, second safest city
in the state of Maryland. Now,
it's wonderful.
Now, you talking about a tribute. That is a tribute that a lot of people have worked for now.
Absolutely.
And they have continually worked for when they were getting negative reports about Glen Arden. But Glen Arden has made contributions like you. How long have you been working?
Well,
what is it, 30, 40 years?
I started
You've been Joanne Benson. That name has been out there, and you have so many roles. Tell us some of the roles that you had here in the state of Maryland.
I started out in politics in Prince George's County in 65.
Right. That's it. You remember when I had the Black Voice and the
I
newspaper and
do
all of that,
remember.
and the Prince George
certainly
Express? That was when, remember,
Paul Rice.
yeah, and a lot of people don't know this, but everything that happened now is the benefit of what people like you, Decatur Trotter, all of those people, Nat X, the whole bit.
And let's not forget
Tommy Broadwater.
Oh my goodness, let's not forget him.
Tommy Broadwater. He took all kinds of abuse.
Yes, he did.
Down in Annapolis.
Yes, he did.
In order. But Glenn Arden always stood out. And I think those people back there in the 60s, they are the ones, this is the type of thing, results of work that you yourself, you've been working here 30, 40 years.
I'm telling you, since 1965.
And that's what I'm saying. In different roles. You know what I mean? You weren't senator. You worked with the average person, and you worked and gave something back. And that's what I tell people, that you have to give something back.
Absolutely.
You have to. Don't
That's
sit
right.
home and enjoy all the goodies. You know, when these different things come up, these different problems, go out to the meeting. Go to these political things. And first of all, vote. And see, that's
what I'm worried about.
See, this is the thing we have to make them. People died for the privilege of voting, and what has happened now is they take it for granted. They sit at home, and not vote. If you don't vote, what you're doing, you're not helping the future. You're not preparing yourself for the future or your children. You have to give back.
Absolutely.
Then anybody out here make it by themselves.
That's exactly correct.
And you have to, and this is the thing that was the theme that we had back there.
Absolutely.
As a team.
Absolutely.
And I mean, as a team, we had the strongest African American team in the state of Maryland.
Absolutely. We were, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
When I think about it, I think about the meetings that we had in people's homes, in the basement.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't go to the fancy hotels.
No.
We didn't do that. We sat down and we crafted the plan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, and that plan was put in place, you're absolutely right, in the early 60s. I will never forget Cora Rice and Steve Brown and Linwood Jones and you. It was just a small group of us.
Right.
I was actually, I probably was the youngest person sitting in the room.
And we were determined that we were going to put a team in the state of Maryland that was going to produce positive image.
That's exactly correct.
See, and that's what we did.
Absolutely.
In every position, we placed a person that we felt that could help the state. See, and your name, the whole group, we just sat around. We knew we had the odds against us, but as a team, that's the greatest team, the African American team in the state of Maryland, because we produced under terrific conditions. It wasn't easy.
That's right. And we weren't concerned about a newspaper.
No.
We weren't concerned about television. We came together and we met and we stayed as long as it took.
Yes.
Sometimes you remember we would start early in the day, work on almost through the night, getting things together. I will never forget when Cora Rice began to talk to us about Wayne Curry.
Yeah, right.
Remember that?
That's what I tell people. I said, as far as Wayne Curry, I said that group picked Wayne Curry.
Did.
And that group was the one that put the first county black African American county exec in Prince George County.
But guess what? We were very strategic in our plan. Think about it.
Right.
When she mentioned Wayne Curry, I said, and we all were shocked. We said, Wayne Curry?
Right.
You talking about that young man that's walking around with his hair pulled back, with a bandana on his head, with a rubber band on his hair, driving a Volkswagen with all kinds of flowers on it. Remember that?
Yes.
We said, Cora Rice. Are you talking about the same Wayne Curry that we know? Oh, the one that works with Head Start. She said, "Oh yeah." She said, "Look beneath all of it."
And
she said, "Look beneath all of it." And we decided we were going to get Wayne ready.
Yes.
WSSC.
Right.
Work down in the county. Work with the Maryland National Capital Planning, getting him ready.
Right. And a lot of people
we didn't even talk about it. We just worked.
Just did it.
Did it.
We did it. And I'm so happy and
I
proud
am.
to have you on the show, because a lot of people don't realize the contribution that
Oh.
you have made, and I wanted them to really see. I mean, it's been years. It's from the '60s
Hard
on. I
fight.
mean, it's been
It
a
was a
hard
hard fight,
and,
remember?
and it's not easy. It takes
It's not.
it takes a terrific toll on family and
does.
everything else.
I couldn't
And
do
see-
it if I had children.
Right.
If I had 10
Right.
children, I just couldn't do the thing. Because we would start early in the morning.
Right.
Even you all with children.
right.
Start out early in the morning,
Right.
work until late at night.
right.
And we took a, listen,
Right.
we took a terrible beating.
Right. Right.
When Wayne Curry decided to run for the county executive,
Right.
think about it. There
Right.
were only 2 of us
Right.
who supported Wayne,
Right.
who were elected officials.
Right.
One was Senator Trotter, and
Right.
the other one was me.
Right. That's what I
But
mean.
we knew the plan.
Right.
We
That-
knew
we had-
what you all had done.
Right.
Hey, this thing was planned. It was very strategic.
Yeah.
And nobody knew how we had planned to get Wayne Curry ready
Right.
to run for county executive.
That's it.
And when he ran
Yeah.
and won, the things that he did for Prince George's
Positive.
County, my God, I tell you the truth.
Out of state. I'm telling you.
I'm
It's-
telling you.
And this is like a reunion, and just like I said, I'm so happy
I'm
to
very
have
glad to
you
be here.
on
think
the
about
show.
Think about
fact.
Floyd Wilson,
Floyd
the
Wilson,
first,
first
African American sitting on the council.
Right. And that's what people fail to realize. I think the group, all of us want to give back. And that's what the young people have to realize. You have to get out
Absolutely.
and take part in the political system.
That's right.
Because the political system is your way out. Remember, business. What you have to do, what Richard Wright, the great African American poet, said, you're not free unless you're economically free.
That's right.
And see, this is what we're going to do in Prince George. We're still working. We're going to get Prince George County on top of the economic level, too.
We're moving right.
Yes,
We're
right.
moving right along, and we're going to get it done.
Right.
I have all the confidence in the world in the current county executive.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing a phenomenal job.
Yes.
You know,
I've had him on, too.
and the thing that we need to do
Right.
is we need to band together and work together like we did back
Yes,
in the
right,
60s.
in the 60s.
I'm telling you.
Right. If we could pass that on to the young people now, if we don't do anything but pass that on, that you have to get involved in the economics of this county.
Absolutely.
And once we get the young people involved in the economics of this county, then we have a ride. Glenn Hardin, I was so happy to see it. Glenn Hardin, people don't know the individuals, they have paid their price. The people there, I mean, they have the respect of the whole state because of the fact that of the unity that we had. See, we had a terrific unity. We had individuals that in Annapolis, they said you had to get rid of so and so. We said no, that's our man. They said, well, we can't work with it, but we met. And we talked about the problems they had in Annapolis.
And not only that, but we didn't leave until we got a solution.
Right.
And once we made a decision that we were going to do something,
Right.
nobody stepped to the left.
No.
Nobody stepped to the right.
And no one could pierce that.
That's exactly
See,
correct.
they tried with the Senate. They tried they tried to break that unity because
That's right.
that unity, and that's what young people have to realize. The unity is the key. You have to stick together. I mean, all of us can't be king and queen. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Some of us got to take certain positions, and when you take that position, then what we do, we take our turn.
And you got to understand clearly that voting is
Hey.
critical.
Said real.
Politics is, listen, a politician signs your birth certificate when you're born.
Right.
Politician signs your marriage certificate when you get married. A politician signs your death certificate when you pass. Politics plays an integral role in the life of everyone.
That's it.
And we cannot use an excuse for not going to the polls to vote. I participated in the civil rights movement.
Right.
I participated with Martin Luther King.
Right.
I understand the urgency of us exercising our right to vote.
Right.
I am a super voter.
Right.
There is no election that comes down the pike in which I sit at home because I understand that the driving force
Right.
for the success of my community, for the success of Prince George's County and the state of Maryland rests with who is elected for the position.
Right.
And if I sit home and the wrong person gets in,
Right.
I have nobody to blame but who?
But yourself.
That's exactly right.
And what we have to realize is that the future, when you talk about the politics, you talk about the youngs, the future of the youngs depends on the politics.
That's exactly right.
And you're, right now, you see Congress, they they tried to pass, the Senate, I think it was, that the salary from $7.50 per hour to 10, and they turned it down. That's ridiculous.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
It is. Man cannot live by bread alone.
Right.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
Right.
And when you give people money,
Right.
it's like educating our children. If we educate our children, we don't have to worry about the future because
Right.
it's going to be bright and
That's
prosperous.
it.
Which
That's it.
brings up the Prince George's County Public Schools. I am overwhelmed with joy with the new CEO that's in charge of the school system, Dr. Kevin Maxwell, who lives in Bowie. Was raised in Bowie, went to elementary school, went to middle school and high school in Prince George's County, went to college, got his degree, his PhD, Prince George's County.
All right.
Started his teaching career, Prince George's County. Became a principal, became a supervisor, has his arms and his heart wrapped around Prince George's County, and he's moving very strategically.
Yes.
He's looking at the school system, and he knows exactly what he needs to do. And if you'll notice, we now have over 2,000 children that have come back to the Prince George's County Public School.
Right.
It's because they know that Dr. Maxwell is a super dynamite administrator, and he's moving the school system in the right direction.
And see, that's what we have to realize is that the youngsters, they're the future. I mean, what you try to do, any mentoring, any program that you can get youngsters involved in, give them a shot, give them a chance. Here on the show, here we have the cameraman and people like that working here to give the young people a shot. Because what we have to do, we have to plan this. It's not going to happen.
That's right.
And this group in the 60s, still some of us around the group in the 60s, that's why we worked hard. But what we want you to do is go out and vote. The Senator emphasized the vote. You know, don't sit at home. Please don't sit at home.
Absolutely.
Vote. That's the word. I don't care what it is. And you see what we did when we got together and voted as far as national election. And see, that's what we have to do. Anytime, it's national election or whether it's a local election, go and vote.
And now, while they are voting, we have to be sure that everyone understands that they should not vote for someone because they like them.
Right.
Or because someone told them to do it. They have to look at a person's record.
Right.
That record speaks for itself. It is so important that when we put people in these positions, that they have the experience, that not necessarily the experience, but the background and the fire in their belly, and the county and the communities in their heart. To me, that is extremely important.
Right. Okay, quickly, tell us some of the affairs that you're having. You know, I heard that you having different affairs there, the 19th of May or something. Give us some of those.
On May the 17th.
You got an opening too, coming up the 3rd or something?
On Saturday, May the 3rd, we're going to open our campaign headquarters, which is located at 11 Mercantile Lane in Largo, room 124. We're going to open, and we're going to talk about the issues. We're going to talk about what we need in order for me to be successful. I'm in Annapolis. I am the only woman senator serving in Annapolis with 7 men.
Congratulations.
And I want you to know that it has been a very exciting experience. The senators work very, very well together. We don't always agree, But I must say to you that the senators who were in Annapolis working with me understand that we must put the citizens first. And we have what is called in my district a coalition. It is called the Greater 202 Coalition.
Okay.
It's a membership of 760 people. We have an average of about 220 people who come. They can come from any district.
Fantastic.
It is very open, and we talk about issues that impact the citizens of Prince George's County. If there is a concern in the community, we come together and address
and deal
it.
with it. Well, you heard it here on the Ed Brown Show. This is a special show. We're taking a little more time, but we have Senator Benson here, and we're honoring her this year. She's the Woman of the Year as far as the Ed Brown Show is concerned. She has dedicated herself and a lot of people to problems, and she's still working. So, hey, look, what you want to do is go out, give her a hand. Vote, vote, vote. See you next time.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time.
One book can be the first thing helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.